How do we know what security controls to assign to an asset to protect it? Well, you should know the answer to this. As discussed, we do a risk assessment considering the threats, vulnerabilities, and consequences to the assets. Who and what you trust is key to your security, privacy, and anonymity. The less you trust, the lower your risk. You want to minimize the number of things that you trust, including yourself. This is the zero. We're going to talk about threat modeling and risk assessments now. You should now have an understanding of vulnerabilities, threats, adversaries, consequences, and the resulting risk, as well as how security is the process, actions, and technology.
There's a principle in security called defense in depth. The idea is to provide layers of defenses, so when one defense fails, another continues to protect you in its place. So there are three main types of defenses you can think of. So
let's talk about asset selection and what constitutes asset selection. We can see here in front of us examples of assets that we've talked about, like files, accounts, financial information, emails, identity, etc. Security, privacy, and anonymity can sometimes be in contradiction to each other. For example, a feature within your browser might check every website that you visit to see if it's on a known malware distribution site. This feature helps security because we now understand the difference between privacy, anonymity, and pseudo-anonymity, which then brings us on to security. Here we can see our assets. These are the things that we care about, the things that we want to be private. Two other things you may value dearly are privacy and anonymity, which will relate to why some of your assets are important to you. You may wish your emails to remain private, you may wish your identity to remain unknown, but privacy, time, money, and our resources are precious to us, so we want to spend as little of our resources as possible on security. Security is not the end goal. The goal is to be getting on with the things that we want. This course takes you on a journey that starts with the basics and theory of security and then builds upon it with practical exercises and onto more advanced topics in the later sections and other volumes. The next 3 sections are the main theory. The objective of this section is to get an understanding of the foundation principles of security, privacy, and anonymity, how these principles apply to any given situation and yours personally. So